I believe that we have to go this way.
So you finally decided to make it into work, and only 32 minutes late this time. Obviously you think TSA rules do not apply to you. Well, you are wrong. As of now, you're grounded. 1 week of review and data cleanup work in the command center, and you can start by reviewing TSA agent procedures, which you've obviously forgotten.
It's not much of a punishment. Cleaning up and watching some videos. I'm down with that.
The simplest analogy for the theory of time travel is that of a tunnel in time. When someone travels through time, a tunnel is created, which originates when the travel is begun and ends when the traveler lands. If some event in the past is altered, the theory states a rip occurs in the fabric of time, which gives rise to a temporal chain reaction. This chain reaction takes the form of a reality distortion wave. It could take anywhere from a few seconds to several hours to reach the present. Of those who aren't uncreated when the distortion wave hits, many will suddenly have a new life, and the past as we know it will cease to exist. Traveling back in time before the distortion wave hits allows an agent to jump over the distortion wave and escape its effects. As a member of the Temporal Protectorate, you alone will have the ability to jump back in time and prevent the corruption from ever happening. To ensure that it doesn't happen again, you'll have to discover the source of this disruption and bring it to a halt. One main caution exists. When time jumping, never allow the energy level that sustains the temporal link between yourself and the Pegasus device to be depleted, for integrity failure of this conduit will end any possibility of returning to the present. In the event that it becomes necessary to restore the proper course of history, the procedure is as follows. As quickly as possible, get to the Ready Room and retrieve your assigned mapping and Pegasus biochips and the Journeyman key from their storage containers. The Pegasus biochip is your link to Pegasus. It is what allows you to be pulled back to the present at the touch of a button. Next, enter the Biosupport Suit generator. The Biosupport Suit is an indispensable element of the time travel process and is essential for your protection. After you're outfitted for travel and before the reality distortion wave reaches the present, you must jump to the year 200 million BC. Upon arriving, use the Journeyman key to open the storage vault and obtain the Journeyman historical log. Since it exists at a point in time previous to any likely temporal changes, this disk serves as a source of unaltered historical information. To discover how history has been changed, return to the Temporal Security Annex and insert the Journeyman disk into the computer. It will be cross-referenced with the historical log which was left behind and altered by the reality distortion wave. Knowing how, when, and where the past was changed should give you the information you need to restore the proper flow of history. A word of caution. Time is very sensitive to change. In order to keep from altering history further, try to solve the problems you encounter without changing anything. As a rule, a Temporal Protectorate agent should never interfere with any events of the past, never leave anything behind that came from a different time, never remove any historically significant objects from an environment, and above all, an agent should never interact with beings from another time zone. The Particle Accelerating Space-Time Transporter V1, otherwise known as Pegasus, was the brainchild of part-time historian and full-time physicist Dr. Elliot Sinclair. In 2311, after seeing Sinclair's time-bending experiments, the government contracted him to build a full-scale, operational time machine. The purpose of this device was to explore our past, as well as to discover the truth behind many disputed historical events. Just 4 years after the project was begun, the world's first time machine underwent its first test run. However, due to mounting concerns by individuals who believed that the machine would be used not only to explore history, but also to alter it, the test run would be the first and last time that the machine would be used for research purposes. The project was discontinued, and Sinclair was forbidden to ever work on time distortion projects again. Time travel, now a reality, the government secretly set up the Temporal Security Annex as a means to safeguard history from potential sabotage. You, the members of the Temporal Protectorate, are among the very few who know of its existence.
Dear God, it's finally happened. And with you of all people on duty, Gage. This is it. It all depends on you. Get to the ready room. Let's do it.
Hey, what did he mean by you of all people? That's a bit harsh. Well, we know our procedures now, so let's get to the ready room. And I finally figured out that you can just continuously walk instead of taking things one step at a time.
Temporal rip emergency confirmed. Access authorized for Agent 5G, Blackwood. Preparation complete for Mapping Biochip, Pegasus Biochip.
I wonder just how many agents there are. There's at least 6 apparently.
Temporal rip emergency confirmed. Initiating protocol. Access authorized for Agent 5G Blackwood.
Okay, so we all have our own chips, but there's only one key. What happens if someone loses it?
Temporal rip emergency mission in progress. Pegasus access authorization confirmed for Agent 5G Blackwood. Prepare for biosuit encapsulation. Ultrasonic body type assessment. Mesomorphic. Infrascanning exact body dimensions. Please keep hands inside turbolift.
Agent 5, temporal wave distortions are rapidly approaching the present time. Your mission is to use the Pegasus device to travel back to the designated prehistoric time zone and retrieve the unaltered Journeyman historical log. You are in the secret underground installation of the Temporal Security Annex.
This area confused me at first, as we are now in a circular room, and each of these sides are nondescript apart from one, which I believe is this one.
Agent 5, do not attempt to leave Pegasus. TSA protocol strictly mandates that the Pegasus remain sealed from all outside contact once a temporal repair mission is initiated. Remember, this protocol exists to protect the TSA agent from the effects of temporal anomalies that may have occurred in the corrupted time stream.
All right, Gage. The world has only one hope, and it's you. I pray that after the rip hits, TSA will still be here for you to transport back to. Good luck.
Thanks, I think.
You must immediately activate Pegasus before the approaching temporal distortion wave reaches the present. You will be traveling back to the year 200 million BC to recover the Journeyman historical log. After obtaining the disk, you will initiate your auto-recall function, returning you to the Pegasus. Once you have returned, you must compare the corrupted and uncorrupted histories of the planet and determine the most likely origins of the distortions. Warning, you are currently 124 meters above the rocky shoreline below. Please exercise appropriate caution and dexterity.
I'm guessing that if we go forward from here, we die. Let's not do that.
You have arrived at latitude-longitude 10140 in the year 200 million BC. The island was chosen because it is geologically unstable and will be destroyed in an upcoming eruption, thus eliminating all evidence of TSA's presence. You should also be aware of the reptilian residents of this area that could pose a threat to your continuing existence. The highest caution is advised. Scanner information regarding this area is mixed. Advise extreme caution.
So there's two pathways that we can take. One which leads to where we need to go, and this way, there's nothing really important down here. But there is one thing we can look at. I'm not exactly sure what this is. I'm guessing it's some sort of power unit, maybe? And that's pretty much all that we can do here. There's 2 or 3 short dead ends down this way, but nothing that you can go too far out of the way for.
Warning, you are currently 124 meters above the rocky shoreline below. Please exercise appropriate caution and dexterity. Warning. Currently registering sound reverberations from what could be incredibly immense feet. There is a high probability that the feet belong to a proportionally large carnivore.
Oh yes, Anna's this way, which is another way to die.
Currently detecting more biorhythms from a rather large reptilian life form. Caution is advised.
Yep, let's go this way. There's plenty of time for death later.
Place hand on scanner for ID verification.
Agent 5, you have accomplished your mission and recovered the Journeyman historical log. You must now return quickly to the Temporal Security Annex and review the disk.
Thankfully, it's as easy as this.
Agent 5. What are you doing joyriding in the Pegasus? Your research reconnaissance mission was not scheduled until... Wait a minute, what's that uniform you're wearing? What's that look on your face? You have a lot of questions to answer, soldier. Once you have finished logging your report in the command center, I want to see you in my office, immediately!
Baldwin looks like a bit of a dick. Yeah, we're back to we're on our way back to the command center now. There really isn't anywhere else we can go at the moment. It's looking slightly different in here, but I guess that there's no alarm going off.
Severe temporal distortions have altered the course of natural history. Your mission is to identify the exact location of the initial time rips by comparing the current altered history with the unaltered recordings from the historical log. You are within the underground installation of the Temporal Security Annex. However, various temporal anomalies indicate that this altered TSA may have been adversely affected by these distortions. Recommend extreme caution when interacting with other humans, as they may also be affected.
Checking for temporal discrepancies.
So there's several rips. The most recent one being 8 years ago.
Five 15/21/12, 1400 hours. Today, amid negotiations to work out the final details of the Worldwide Unification Treaty, a nuclear missile was launched by the United States toward the country of Gorbistan. The missile, however, self-destructed before actually touching down. Before the scare, the leaders of this country appeared to be ready to accept the terms of the peace plan. Although the U.S. officials have repeatedly stated that they don't understand how the missile could have been launched, other foreign governments have already said that they cannot possibly sign a treaty with a country that would use such scare tactics. Thus, the Worldwide Unification Treaty, which has come so close to realization, now has little or no chance for ratification. May 15, 2112. The government of Gorbistan appears ready to agree to the terms of the Worldwide Unification Treaty being set forth by the United Nations. However, at least one terrorist faction disagrees with the terms of the plan and has expressed this disagreement by taking hostages. Nevertheless, it appears that the Worldwide Unification Treaty will be signed by Gorbistan and all other nations of the world.
It seems like someone wasn't a big fan of this peace treaty.
8/3/2185, 0800 hours. Morimoto Corporation's Mars Colony project suddenly went offline last night, just moments after the pilot of a cargo shuttle spotted an unidentified spacecraft in the area. While it is still unclear what has happened, many believe that the colony may have been destroyed by a malevolent alien race. Repeated efforts to contact the colony have met with no success, but before the comlink to the colony was terminated, the sighting of the alien spacecraft, its rapid departure, and a subsequent unexplained explosion were recorded by long-range sensors on Phobos and verified by Earth authorities. August 3rd, 2185. Early today, the pilot of a cargo shuttle approaching the Morimoto Mars colony spotted an unidentified spacecraft in orbit over the colony. The sighting was verified by landing base scanners and immediately reported to Earth. Soon after, the ship sped off towards the outer reaches of the solar system. This first governmentally verified encounter with an alien race has already prompted the leaders of the world to start emergency closed-door meetings to discuss the implications of this monumental event. Today, 123 years after the first official UFO encounter, an alien spacecraft entered into Earth's orbit. After several hours of silence and mounting tension, the aliens transmitted the following message over all communication frequencies.
We will return when you are ready.
While no one is quite sure what this message means, many leaders have voiced concern about interacting with an obviously powerful and potentially dangerous alien race. More than a century after the first confirmed sighting of a UFO, aliens have finally made contact with Earth. Early this morning, a huge triangular-shaped vehicle entered into Earth's orbit. After 3 hours, the spacecraft came through the atmosphere and hovered over Caldoria. Moments later, the following message was transmitted over all communication frequencies.
We are the Cerolans. Please do not be alarmed. We have come because we feel that you are ready. You have reached a point where you are no longer dangerous to yourselves or others. This is why we've chosen to invite you to join us, the symbiotry of peaceful beings. We are an alliance of sentient beings whose objective is to benefit from the sharing of knowledge and culture. We know that it will take some time to fully comprehend the significance of this encounter. So we will give you the opportunity to deliberate our proposal. On this same day, 10 years from now, a Cyrolan delegate will visit you to extend a formal invitation to join the Symbiotry. Until then, we look forward to meeting you in person.
And as suddenly as they had appeared, the Cyrolans departed, leaving Earth to ponder the implications of their existence and their incredible proposal. One 17-2310, 1800 hours. Dr. Enrique Castillo, a well-known biologist and advocate for establishing alien relations, was murdered earlier today. During his speech at the Symposium on Alien Contact in New Sydney, Australia, Castillo was speaking on stage at the World Science Center when the single shot from an unknown assailant was fired. He was later pronounced dead on arrival at the Darling Harbour Medical Complex. The murderer is still at large. Dr. Castillo was the most outspoken at the debates and firmly believed that contact with alien races would be beneficial to humanity. Although his views were not mainstream, Dr. Castillo's contributions to the pro-alien movement will be greatly missed.
That blood splatter was very dodgy. I think it was a light being shined on him as it went from his blazer to the back of his hand. It was really quite surreal.
January 17th, 2310. The Symposium on Alien Contact began today at the World Science Center in New Sydney, Australia. The debate centered around whether humans are ready for interaction with alien races. One speaker, Dr. Enrique Castillo, had a particularly moving speech. Dr. Castillo embarrassed the naysayers by systematically shooting down their arguments and thrilled the attending scientific community with visions of medical and technological advances which could be gained by such interaction. Although there were strong keynote speeches on both sides of the argument, most of those in attendance appeared to be in favor of alien contact.
After I was alerted that you had the historical log, I began monitoring your actions. I just downloaded the information regarding the temporal distortions. I still can't believe it has really happened. I'm reviewing all of the information about this matter, but it's obvious I can't risk sending you back to change things now. My life in the only world I have ever known is at stake, and no one, no matter what the regulations say, is going to change it for better or worse. As of this moment, consider yourself a hostile enemy of the state. I'm sending robots 1 and 2 to guard the command center door until I can figure out how to dispose of you. I'm sorry, Agent 5, but once I destroy the historical log you brought back from the prehistoric site, the only memories of your world will be in your head. And that's where they're going to stay.
Initiating auto-activation of Contingency Program 13, which states, any attempt to obstruct a TSA agent while on a mission is a direct violation of TSA Regulation 11. Override code implemented. Attempting to establish link with Command Central Computer Core. I/O link established. Agent 5, you may now utilize the TSA Central Computer.
New target acquired. Rerouting robots. Rerouting robots.
Baldwin really is a cock.